Ready. And it looks like this might be alive. It's alive! It's alive! I have no idea what that was. Nice. Still a bit too hot, but mint tea. Literally the best thing ever. Fight me. Well, mine is coffee. Coffee's awesome, though, because coffee's coffee. That's just science. Excuse me. All right, let's get started. Hi, everyone, I'm Airier, and today is going to be a huge surprise, a painting live stream, because I like doing this because I'm a massive nerd. Although I've been told the appropriate term is actually geek. Meh, whatever. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be working on a Custodian's Vexilla today, and as you can probably see, I already spray painted him gold. So many gold member jokes waiting. Now, I've actually done a few of these already. I have a shield captain who's also just going to be a regular guard. He's got some work in him. I did more of the basic stuff on him. The blade I'm not too happy with, but it's not too bad. And I also did a regular guy as well for the guard. Oh, hey, Zero, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I actually noticed that for once. As you can see, I didn't finish up his blade, so I'll actually go back and do that later. And I need to do a lot of the gloss effects and maybe make the blue a little more bright. I might need to do that. Take my pick, see how it works. But yeah, today we're going to be doing this guy, who I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this one, actually. If I want to go whites or maybe an off-white on this color here, we'll have to figure it out. Looking forward to that. I'm easily amused, though, so it's happy. All right, let's see. Let's get started. Also, I just noticed that for some reason my chat is really on wolves today. How much? I missed a lot. Wow. Excuse me. I think I'm allergic to something. Ignis, Jetstream, Vladimir Sup, Tudor, Michael Harrison, Carl Harrison. Oh, there's multiple Harrisons. Cool. And looks like Jetstream is actually the first person in the chat as far as it's letting me see. Cool. Oh, there's a lot of people in here. I'm not... Seriously, what is with all the wolves? Oh, we got Space Corgi fans. That's why. I regret nothing. Fight me. Before I do that, I'm going to just wet my throat because it keeps coughing. Oy. Oh, and I did see there was a TTS short that came out today. I'm not going to check it out yet because I'm just holding those to the end. There's a whole bunch of shorts, though, so I'll probably watch them after the podcast. Excuse me. So let's start up with I probably need paint. That would help. Now, if you hear that sound, that's actually me just wetting the brush. I'm weird. I actually like to wet the brush before I start painting. It's just a me weirdness thing. Let's see. Going to need some black. Black. You know what? For the different streamers, I think I'll go with Rackhearth Flesh. I actually like how that looks more. But maybe... No, Flayed One looks too much like actual bone and skin. Won't need that. I will use Sotek Green, though. I've come to really love this color. It just looks like an aquamarine color, and it really does work. Of course, the good old standby Lead Belcher. Love this silver. It has such a good metallic effect. Excuse me. I have Balthazar Gold... and also Redistributor armor. I'm going to stick to Redistributor because... excuse me. Well, it's the same color to match the spray paint on this guy. I do have an idea what I want to do with this, though. I'm going to leave that on its helmet to make it look slightly different. Still gold, but off. More of a bronze gold rather than the usual ones. Let's see, anything else I want to add? He has the flanges down there. So I'll probably add in a little Bugman's Glow because I just enjoy how that looks like tanned leather. I could do that on the hands, but honestly, I despise gluing the hands on, so mine are always usually really screwed up. I don't want to take any time to draw more attention to the lack of details for how I glue them in. That's just, I don't... As much as I like painting the models, building... Yeah. Not the biggest thing I'm a fan of. At all. Red, of course. Just a good old Mephiston. I would like something a little brighter, so I'm going to try something a little new with this guy and start off with a layer of white Scar. Huh. Weird, I was really dark there for a second. So, let's see. Excuse me. I swear I have like a kitten in my throat or something. You see what I did there, yeah? Alright. I'm gonna put this guy here. Yeah, I did that. Also, if anyone wonders why it looks like my color scheme is changing on my camera, it's because it actually is, and I have no idea why it does that sometimes. Yeah, weird. Oh, I need to shake this up. And yeah, Joe, I do like the finer things in life. That would be coffee, tea, chocolate, girlfriend, you know, the good things. All right, just getting that down there. Normally, I would jump right into the Mephiston red on the... Oh! Oh, God, Mr. Big Dog. Oh, my God. Really, man? Lol. Again, normally I would go straight into this. But right now, I want to add the white to this part right here. I forget what it's called. Mane? Tail? Plumage? Let's go with plumage. Let's go with that. I would normally go straight red, but I want to make it a little brighter, and I'm hoping this would actually have that effect. Will it? Hell if I know. But worst comes to worst, I just cover over it. The only problem with trying is literally nothing. I literally lose nothing by trying. Ah, God, my throat is killing me today. Oh, yeah, there was a dog at my girlfriend's house yesterday for Easter. I know today's Easter, but I celebrated that with my girlfriend yesterday, and her family had a dog over, and I swear, it's like I get residual allergy from it. Cutest little puppy ever, though. Well, not really a puppy anymore, but it's like all dogs. They're always a puppy. They never stop puppying. Cute guy. Really, like, overly hyper, but still well-behaved for that as well. But, you know, it's a hound dog. Like an actual hound, I mean. Now, I want to make sure I don't put it in too deep so it starts blocking out details. All right. So, the Czar, you're painting while watching another stream of a guy painting. Sounds like fun as far as I'm concerned. But then again, I'm easily amused. Here. This should help more. For some reason, my camera focuses weird when there's multiple things it can focus on. I don't know why, and I find it annoying, but meh. Can't be helped. And if it can, I don't know how. Yeah, that's coming along nicely. Now, the gold is still shining through, but that's not actually a big deal for me right now. I'm not actually concerned about that so much as a brighter base, hopefully highlighting the red after I finish it. Also, I usually watch battle reports when I paint and I'm not streaming. Although in this case, I would love to go and watch a how to get damn allergies out of your throat video. Starting with how do you get the damn allergies out of your throat a day later. That would be nice. All right. I don't know why I like painting upside down. Like, I'll just hold something upside down and paint it. I don't know why I do that. It does not make sense. All right. Just want to get this little section right at the back. There's like a little tail, and you can kind of just see in here. Ooh, that's actually a good angle. I'm actually trying to draw the brush over it. Now, my finger slipped a little, and I hit a bit of the armor, but that's not a big deal because it'll get washed out pretty easily. I'm also going to put a little, just a little bit right here on the different nuggets. This will make them glow a little easier, I'd hope. Even a little paint should do the job. And if I go too far, well, not a big deal. Gold is pretty well for covering. All right. There we go. Nice little tip there. And yeah, sub, it is. It's the Custodian Vexillus, actually. I'm going to be playing a game later on Wednesday if I can get someone to agree to it. The shop I go to is hit and miss if anyone takes me up on a game. And while I'm fine with bringing these guys just primed, I'd rather have, actual one. Actually, Drisky, I was thinking about the Rakarth Flesh, but I think I'm going to leave it as the white scar, or just what I'm using now. And then painting it over with the color I want, which is actually going to be a form of blue. Forget the name. God, my throat is killing me today. Still, unlike the last stream I did yesterday, I don't have to unpause the camera every 5 seconds. I'm still salty about that. I wonder, what else should I prime white? This is right on the chest. Let's do that. Just a little more white. It's hard to see it on the table, actually, because on my ink swatch, it looks so similar. I'm not actually trying to paint it with the tip. I'm actually pulling the brush over it. And I'm only hitting a few hairs at a time. Hopefully this actually ups my control. And if not, well, crap. All right, that looks nice. Honestly, I wonder since this is... Nah, I do want to keep it red. I like the white effect, oddly enough. I wasn't expecting that. But I think I would like to keep it red. Maybe an extra layer right now, just to get a little whiter. Okay. I'm barely dry brushing at this point. Let's see. The only ones I really want to highlight are that one and... okay, my brush is a little too wet right now. Just a little bit highlighted. This will barely even highlight it, but having something a little brighter on it might help. I keep trying to make the shine effects a little more visible. Because adding the ard coat on top of it, it works, but it doesn't always work as I hope. Nothing wrong with it. It does its job well, but it's not my favorite. And just even it up, hit this side as well. A little more to even out the water consistency. All right. Oh, so Vladimir, there's a Fallout 40K crossover? Well, that's different. Just stream is quoting Gog Vandire. The name that definitely says, I am going to rape all your faces. It really does say that, and from what I've heard, it is an accurate representation of his character, which is more screwed up even. I actually like the white. I was actually a little surprised about that. It has a really nice standout. I wonder how that would look with the Reichland Flesh Wash on top of it. Oh, actually, I already know that. See if I can bring it over in camera. The little tassels I actually had as White Scar white as well. And the Reichland Flesh Wash, it pretty much dyed them. Nah, I think I'll keep the red in there. And just use this as a base coat, trying to keep it brighter. I don't need to do a lot of coats, just a few of them to make sure it stays white. All right. A salamander on New Vegas. Honestly, Vladimir, yeah. A salamander is probably the best choice because everyone else is less concerned about the entire mortals aspect. All right. All right, that looks pretty good. That should be enough to just make it easier to see. The Deathcore Creek Army, Tyler, I wouldn't mind, but I'm actually trying to focus on just slowly building a Custodian's army first. It actually shouldn't take too long, minus the price, because, well, I got about 10 figures total, 11 figures total right now, and that's almost 1,000 points. Yeah. It's probably over 1,000 point, actually. Yeah. I could probably form a brigade out of it. Not just a battalion, but a full brigade. And maybe have 20 models if I'm really pushing it. I probably don't need this extra coat here, but I just want to make sure it stays brighter. Because during the wash phase, it does usually lose a lot of the shine. And while I will completely say I like how it looks dirty and more weathered when I use a wash, there are aspects of it I would like to keep more visible. All right, just going to clean up the art coat. Oh yeah, Tom, the Solar War. How the Horus Heresy ends. I'm fully expecting there's going to be some kind of big reveal at the end. Something that no one's going to see coming, like, I don't know, Horus is actually the Star Child. Or a combination of Horus and the Emperor. I mean, that make more sense. Oh, seriously, tea. Awesome. Before I forget, yeah, these mugs. I finally remembered to put them for sale. Yeah, there's a link down below. Yeah, I've had them there for a while. I just keep forgetting. Oops. Excuse me. All right, now let's see. What should I do next? Maybe Balthazar Gold? Maybe. I'll hold off on the Mephiston Red until I get this to dry for certain. This one? Yeah, this... I usually like doing this last. I can always move on just to the black sections. And the silver is more or less the same there. Oh, don't mind me. I'm actually just organizing these. Yeah, kind of like this one I'm going to shave as one of the absolute last bits to just highlight the white again. So that would be after the red. And this one, I actually like this as a parchment tone. I know it's supposed to be a flesh shade, but I just like it as parchment. It gives it a much more weathered outdoor paper look. But that's my personal opinion. Yeah, let's go with that. Actually, before we move on, I'm actually going to use a little bit more of this on the tassel. I forgot they had tassels. Just a little dab will do ya. I'm going to take a bit more ink than I meant, and a lot more water than I meant. Well, that should actually balance out pretty well. Actually, no, sub, there's a Warhammer store near my house. I just stop by and pick something up as I need it. It's expensive, but as long as I don't overdo the paint, and I do most of it in primer, it's actually not that bad. Seriously, though, if I didn't prime these, I would go through Balthazar Gold so fast. and the redistributor armor gold, which is actually the color I'm mainly using for these guys. Oh, that's an awkward angle to hit. I am overpainting a bit, and that's actually annoying to me. But there's only so much I could do to get these corner work. I know I theoretically, and probably will have to, leave a lot of the details for the wash to fill in, but I just don't like having to do that. I like being able to get some of it down right off the bat. I did have a finer brush I used before, but a lot of the times it was just, well, originally it was fine, but then it started to fray because I used it a lot. This brush is a little more ragged, but at the same time, it's also holding up a little stronger. That's going to be a hard piece to hit. My problem with this little white tassel is that the underside is almost impossible for me to hit. I got to go in through the back, and it is not accepting it easily. I'm just going to have to hope that no one really pays attention to the job down here. I can always try the underside, but this is so little control. Yeah, and I'm also painting more of the wrong side than anything. Now what I tried to do is actually flatten out the tip of my brush on the sheet. It's very watered down right now, but it might be able to actually scoop in and just briefly, if I can just get in there. Now I'm going to need to repaint that somehow, and God knows how I'm going to do that, but it seems to have worked mostly. And of course there's a hair on there. One of the things I noticed with the redistributor spray paint for basing it or priming it, for some reason, and I don't get this, it left strings. It's like, was there a spider web it painted? I didn't notice it for months or something. I don't know. It did that. It's kind of odd. All right, looks better. Tutor, I hope you can replace your iPod because if you break it, well, you'll need to buy a new one anyways. Oh, also, you can probably see I gave this guy a Miscordia at the back because I gave him a storm shield. I figured for the Vexilla guy, I'm going to want him to be more durable. And even though the 4-up or 5-up guaranteed save is nice, yeah, figured the storm shield was more useful on him. And so he had at least some AP. Just the little knife at the back was useful. At least that's where I'm hoping it works out as. If it doesn't, well, that sucks. I'm going to try something here. Just a little bit on the wings. Just the residual paint. I'm not even putting a full layer down, just enough that you could tell it's painted over. I wonder if this will work out. I mean, God knows I have no expectation of it, but it might alter the shade just a little bit. Hell, it might have even been better to dry brush it in at the end, but I'm willing to try it. Practically dry brushing it now. Okay. As you can see, the wings are a little... They're not very white. In fact, It appears whiter on the camera than it does in real life, it seems. A very watered down amount of white scar on top of it. Yeah. Still mostly gold, but just a little off. I actually kind of like how that looks. What I really think will be interesting, though, is how it'll absorb the wash differently. It'll mostly be the same color. In fact, I expect it'll be almost identical in how. See? It's almost the same. Almost perfectly the same. It's just off enough that you kind of can tell it's not exactly. It's incredibly watered down. In fact, it's nearly a wash itself. Heck, even over here, it's already lesser because I'm running out of paint. The white scar dries really fast. Some paints dry faster than others. The white scar, it is dry almost the second I take my brush up from it. Ah, that's better. Ah, now that looks like I hoped for. Just a little bit more. Just get in the cracks, add a little bit of the coloring to it. Add a little bit more back here just to keep it even. Because I'm not actually using the full-on color, I'm trying to keep it at least seemingly equal. All right, there we go. I'm not even sure if this will work out well or how it'll look when it finishes off. It might very well not even be noticeable by the time I'm done. But I think just a small alteration to the wings will look pretty good when it's all said and done. It's a little more visible on this side, but that's fine. I think the wash will take care of a lot of that. I wonder. Dress can make a good point. It's white scar paint. Of course it dries fast. Everything they do is fast. Kind of surprised it's called white scar is white instead of Corax white. I mean, that's what the spray paint color is, but whatever. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, the background sub, it's awesome. Oddly enough though, whenever I have more there, my camera doesn't focus on the model and it focuses on everything else. So I actually have to remove everything from the background. It's weird. I don't know why my camera does that, but when I just have the solid shadowed background, it focuses fine on the model. Yeah. Also, I got it zoomed in like 190% right now because it's like far back over my shoulder on the corner of the room outside of the camera range, so it's hard to see. But hey, if it works. Oh god, Rio fighting gold memes. I need to watch more JoJo. I'm very far behind. And by very, I mean episode 1. I know JoJo. I've read a lot of the stuff about it. I just haven't watched it. I want to. I enjoy the memes. I enjoy the story, the lore. Just shit. Don't you dare break lid. So help me, lid, if you just broke on me. Okay. I hate these lids so much with a passion. Just stay up. Stay up, stay up, stay up. Okay, we're good. It didn't fall down on me. Such a bitch to work with. Just a little bit of water will do it. Maybe a little more. That wasn't a lot. That's better. Nah, sub. Yeah, JoJo's fun. Just need to get back into watching it, though. Ah, here we go. Now this one, it's not as bright as the other one, but I like how it looks more. Okay, good. It's coming through well. The hard part is if any of this was shadowed and didn't get primer, it'll be a lot harder to paint. And because it's not entirely attached, it's more wibbly wobbly, I also don't want to put too much force on it. Because with my luck, it will break. Still, it does force the wash when it does hit to do more interesting things. This paint's drying quick too. Need to add more water. All right. It's coming along nicely. Got to make sure to get the sides too. It would look really awkward and odd and very standoffish. Standoffish, probably not the right word. If the different sheets were gold trimmed in ways that didn't look intentional. I don't mind mistakes if it can be forked or faked well to look like I meant to do it, but if I can't, very annoying. All right. Now that looks nice. Really do like how that came out. It looks exactly like I was hoping. Add a little more water. That's better. Hey, Temporary Alien, what's up, man? It's doing pretty well right now, actually. Oh, and to everyone out there, happy Easter. I'm going to go see Pretty Guardian after this. So this is only a temporary stream until I finish this guy. Or until I'm late. Probably until I'm late. Because me. So we'll see how far it can go. Okay, now that it's drying a bit, I can see where I... Okay, flat out missed sections. Dear God, a lot of that did not take paint. The upside is this is one of those colors that accepts water readily and still keeps its, well, painty aspects. Some of the more metallic style paints are touchy when you add too much water. Where this one, it's still a good paint, even when it's kind of watered down. Like right now, I'm mostly putting very watered down paint on here. And for anyone else, it would have become like a really runny wash. This one, no, still a decent paint. It maintains its color profile. Oh, sure, it's thinner, but if it works, it works. I'm not complaining. Again, though, the hard part is always... All right, that's in. Looks nice. Here, get that a little more light. Ah, that's how it looks. Yeah, nice. The Emperor's to-do list. Ooh, that sounds fun. Tudor, after the video ends and you can actually leave comments down below, can you go back and do that? Because I would actually like to check that out. Now, there's not going to be a lot of rack art flesh on this guy. Just going to make sure I have all of it. And this one right here, just maybe the gold didn't prime this as well as I thought. Oh, there's a section I missed. All right. That's good. And oddly enough, I like the variation between the tassel and the parchment. Sure, the parchment could be wider by comparison since it's supposed to be a holy scroll writ on there, but I like how it makes the tassel stand out more. So even if it's not a completely covered job there, it does stand out well. I'm actually wondering about maybe since this guy's a Vexilla, leaving it as white instead of red. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the red effect. I might leave it in, but... Working with the fallen. Mobius Zero, who told you? I mean, I have no idea what you're talking about. That would be funny, ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. I think for now that should do fine with the Rackar flesh. I don't need much of that. He doesn't have much need of black on this. I might hit that silver. What parts need to be black? Actually, this guy might... Oh, yeah, I know which parts. They're harder to reach, but the underside of the armor. A little on the front, mostly on the back. Again, I'm going to mostly leave the gauntlets. In a lot of the pictures, these gauntlets here are colored actually more of a tannish leather. But honestly, nah, I don't like the leather effect on them. Mostly because in the gluing process when I built the model, the arms just kept moving and I lost a lot of definition because of the plastic glue. So if I painted them separately than the rest of it, it would draw more attention to the lack of detail than anything else. And I'm trying to avoid that. Well, that's the end of the ginger ale. I got all the drinks today. Oh, the strange note. Mostly because I had a lot of people who were getting into fights in my streams when I did big ones, so I stopped playing those kind of games. I still do play a lot of games, and I like FGO. I'm going to be doing it on Tuesday, and well, that's because there's a new event coming out on Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to. And tomorrow, I'm going to, unfortunately, play Corpse Party. Yeah, that's going to be a thing. Corpse Party, yay. I mean, I just had to give a donation goal where that was possible. Well, live and learn for giving possible goals. Also, Defective AI, Tilt, and everyone else who donated, thank you all so very much for getting me to that point. It did help. That said, doing it because you want to see me suffer by playing Corpse Party. I have regrets. I have regrets. And by regrets, I mean I have to play Corpse Party. Pretty Guardian will be here tomorrow. She'll help me with it around 10 or 11 a.m. Might start early if she gets over here early. All right, let's see. That's a little too much ink on this thing. I know a lot of people prefer a small tip, but working the brush into a flathead, see, so it's flatter like this, see, sideways, flat on. I just prefer that because it seems to give me more control. That literally might just be in my head for all I know, but take what I can get. Now I can always overpaint like this socket right there because, well, redistributor armor will cover it pretty well. I might even tip that up next. Just make sure it's all nice and covered. As long as the joints are covered, I don't need to worry too much about the rest. As you can see, I'm just slopping it around, honestly. And that's not the most refined way to do it, if even a good one, but you can always paint over to get the colors right. God knows I do that a ton. Seriously, most of my paint job can be summed up as slop it on until you don't have anything left to slop on and call it a day. And then somehow it actually looks good to your opinion. And by to your opinion, I mean mine, and I'm just going to ignore anyone who disagrees. Is that a good way to do it? No. Is it my way to do it? Yeah. It is easier, though, when there's a hard cleft between the different sections. Like right here. It's hard to see, but there is one. Okay, one sec. I stretch out the leg. Oh, that's better. Okay. Let's see if I can pull this in. As you can probably see, I'm not the best painter. I'm just pretty damn patient. It works out well in my opinion. Again, just slopping on the butt paint. Yeah, I just spent all that time staring at his ass. Yeah. An old style clock repairman. Oh God. Jorge, that's just intently working on something I cherish. Yeah, that's Jorge, that's actually pretty damn accurate. That's exactly how it feels to do this too. Might not be the best, but I just enjoy doing it. Let's see. The black, I think I'll add that here. Now, as you can see here on the shield, there's actually a little cross right here. I overpainted the entire thing because it's actually a lowered section. So when I brush over sideways later with the correct gold, what's going to happen is actually that, excuse me, it'll only cover the top sections, which will be raised. Makes it actually a lot easier. Excuse me again. I wonder. I'll hit those next. Hit that up in silver. What would... Oh. Now that's a different idea. Okay, let me explain this a bit. What I was originally going to do is... Okay, one, I think that's all the black I need first. Yeah, the joints up there are invisible. I won't... No, wait. Is it visible? Yeah, just barely. Okay. Slopped it around a little more than I wanted, but it got the right locations. And I can overpaint and repaint later to fix that. Nothing undoable. Now, what I normally like to do here is give it a highlight on the raised sections on the armor. Because theoretically, I could call it done now. I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. But what I'm actually thinking about either touching up it in redistributor and then adding a slightly altered color of Balthazar gold on top of it, which may or may not be visible, and instead of just hitting off the white sections I raised out with the Sotek green, highlight all of the little details in that as well. If I do that, though, I want to get silver down first, so I'll definitely do that next. Then I'll touch it up with the redistributor, and we'll see how it goes. Tyler, you looking forward to the corpse party stream? Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be a thing tomorrow. That is definitely gonna be a thing. I'm not internally terrified or screaming in panic at the thought of having to play corpse party. No. I'm externally screaming at the thought of having to play corpse party. So the furries versus the angry mage guys. Not really angry mage guys, more dust men right now. I guess they're just dust in the wind. All they are is dust in the wind? I should feel bad about that one. But that would involve shame. And if I'm on YouTube, I think it's all assumed I don't have that anymore. Oh, God. Let's see. It looked nice on the other shield. Let's see about this one. First off, these chains. I definitely want to make them silver. Just a light brush. It doesn't have to go deep. It doesn't have to cover everything right away. Just a little touch over and over again. Slowly bring it around to your way of looking without incorporating too much in these sections you don't want. Okay, that's that side done. Just touch up the sides quickly. All right, add a little more water. I'm actually trying to steady my hand a little more right now. I'm not sure if it's helping, but the thought makes me feel like I have a little more control. Alright, that doesn't look half bad. Looks a bit thicker than I wanted, though. Let's see. That's the one side down. Interesting. This side is taking the paint a little easier. I wonder why. The hard part is right at the connection point between the wings and the chain because it goes through it. Got a little more fresh paint and a little water to keep it moving. Mobius Zero. I don't actually have any Tau, and I got enough different patrols right now where I'm not looking to get into them. That said, if money was not an issue, oh, hell yeah, I get into Tau. I get into literally everything. I would have battalions of everything. But money is not going to say yes to that. It's an unfortunate way. Okay. Get the siding. And I think we nearly have it. Yeah, I took a lot longer on those, but I think the chains look good. That... I realize how that sounds when I say it that way. I'll do something easier next. Something that definitely will not in any way, shape, or form sound incriminating. I'm just going to paint these balls gray. I don't know what you're talking about. That definitely didn't sound incriminating. Nothing I said will be held against me. Nothing at all. I could leave these silver, or not silver, but gold. But honestly, I feel like it needs some variation from the rest. The overwhelming gold motif is really a fun one. It's why I like these characters. Well, that and TTS in general, but it's why I like all of the things 40k. But adding the variation is what I think is really cool about it. Especially since in the lore I read, and I could be wrong about this because I read it very briefly, that all the Custodian's armors is very individualized. So having small little differences in painting might actually be a good thing for their canon distribution. Distribution, that's not the right word. Aesthetic? Let's go with aesthetic. Let's get this side. The brush is drying off, but it has enough residual paint that I can essentially dry brush it on. Oh, and I missed a corner there. That's a connection point, so I don't need to worry about that too much. Just get that. Ah, bad angle, can't see well. Alright, that looks better. Got the little circly thingies. Gotta love the circly thingies, they're my favorite. Now let's see. I think I'll leave these silver as well, just because I like them silver. Now, I am overpainting right now. In fact, I might even want to get more on my brush and then pull it down a little, like I just did, so I have less paint on there. I'm painting something really hard right now because I cannot see what I'm painting. It's just inherently too dark. Maybe a little more ink. That's better. It was coming on a little too indistinct for my taste. I like it being visible. If I can't see what the color is, I don't usually enjoy using it. The foot is a little hard because I can't get a good vision. Just running it over the same place long enough. Even the residual ink from the brush will eventually start to hit the right areas. Maybe not much, but it does add up. Okay. Also, I'm pretty sure the model for Kitten is actually a warden and not a guard, because I don't see any of the long flowing robes that Kitten had. But I could be wrong about that, mostly because, well, I just could be wrong. It's me. I'm usually wrong. It's usually a good bet. Okay, that's nearly done. Oh, and there's a tiny little equivalent here. I didn't paint on the last one, but on the last one I couldn't even see it was there. I'm doing a lot more detail than I need on the back of the shield, because on the last one I couldn't see it and it was so dark I couldn't tell if I had painted it or not, which I knew I hadn't because I didn't. This time around I can, so I'm going to do a nice bit just to get the extra paint on there. These silver details and accents are some of my favorite parts. I think they really add growth to the model. Make it look more than just visible, but actually something cool. It's not much, but I'll have to do. I could go more and highlight the entire backside. And while I will admit to being tempted to doing that, I'm going to pass. For a pet ocelot, tutor, I would say anything at once. Because it'll eat you. And that would be bad. The belly plates are always such an odd thing on these guys. Like, no one else really has that. The other Marines, they just kind of have a flat section in their basic armor, where these guys have distinct segments in their armor to show that it's there. Just, I wonder why, that's all. Don't get me wrong, it makes it look a lot cooler, I think, but it's just one of those noticeable differences in armor style between them and basic Marines. Maybe it's this mass production value as opposed to more individualized. little overpainted, but not badly. Okay, so I got the basic highlights done. Oh, not quite. This is still in drastic need of more ink. Yeah, good enough. Now I'm going to move on to some of these details here. This cross is a bit more difficult to paint because it has a lot of raised sections, and I want to try and do something a little different with it. I'm going to at least attempt, and that's the key word there, attempt to alter the coloration of the different raised sections. Not sure if I can succeed, but I would like to try. Also means I don't need to be too worried right off the bat. Oh, and of course the blade itself I want to get. How can I forget the blade? This guy does have a weapon after all. Lord Adorable's Tai Chi regimen. That'd be actually kind of hardcore now that I think about it, because, you know, Adorable is hardcore himself. Okay. Now, as you can maybe see, I lost a lot of fine detail on the blade itself. When I was making it, it fell into a small bit of a... what was it called? The plastic glue. And that melted a lot of the fine details. Some of it was on what it fell into, some of it was on my hand. All very annoying. The ending result is that it's not the most detailed of the Miscordias. But it doesn't really matter because it has enough details on it to still be visible. All right. I think this is coming along nicely, actually. Excess glue issues aside. Actually, I wonder if I can hit it. Whoa. I knocked over the pot, and it did not spill. I got lucky. Let's see if I can go backwards to get to that piece. Oh, wait, this might be easier. Oh, wait, I can just do... Wow. Way to make it too hard for yourself, Airier. Yeah, that worked. It just took me a lot longer than I thought it would. Alright. If I'm right, this should work out. I think I'll re-hit these in silver as well. Just because I like the effect on the last one I did. What I'm trying to do is push the silver into the recesses. They're tiny, barely even there, so I have to be very careful not to overpaint. Because correcting this would be a difficulty because of how small the leeway is. Even adding the paint removes what fine detail there is right now. So it can't even be a thick layer of paint if I fuck up. I got to make sure it's a very light one. But I think I managed it. All right. I got the backs. Going with vents on that? Let's go with vents. So got that done, that done. Hit that up in white. Maybe touch over that one more time. I'm going to highlight this in silver. Gently, lightly dragging the tip of my blade across the sections that need to get painted. This is one of those areas, though, where I don't need to worry too much because with how they're raised, when I do add the wash at the end, it will darken the areas around it because that's where the paint from it will collect. Is that a cheaty move? Hell yes. Am I okay with it? Hell yes. A little more water. Good, nice flat tip. That should make etching easier. So I ended up painting this square solid. I have an idea on how to make it look more natural, though. First up, even it out with this side. If it's all silver, I know how I can fix that. It's just going to be a bit counterintuitive. Is there anything else I need silver right away? I can hit the little bit on this grill quickly, just for the good measure. Just first getting that there. Add a little more to the brush. Keep it in one pile. Nice flat edge. Best work angle. Find the top hair. All right, it's coming on nicely. It's only a small detail, that little fine line, but it's one of those things I do enjoy seeing whenever I touch this up. Just for good measure, I'll just hit the buckles on the straps. I don't want it to look like I ignored the gauntlets, even though I am completely ignoring the gauntlets. I just do not like gauntlets. Not like these. Excuse me. Maybe another layer of silver on this just to make it stand out a little more. Okay, I think that looks good. The silver bits are silver where they need to be, and they stand out quite a bit. All right. I think I got a nice bit there. Do I want to touch up the shield in silver? I'll try it. Just a nice little line work here. The other one I did in red, so this will look different as well. Just gotta go light and easy. Small brush strokes on a small piece without putting any excess force on. Maybe a single hair from a single swipe. And it's coming together nicely. There's something truly amazing about seeing these things take shape for you. Just watching as the paint starts to hit the right areas, where it seeps into the right crevice. And you know, hey, this is going to look pretty damn cool when you're done. I love that moment. I'm about to hit it at this one because it's starting to look like I want. It's not quite there yet, but I'm so close. I can feel it just right on the tip of my tongue. Which would be awkward if I put this on the tip of my tongue. That would actually be very disturbing, and I would rather not do that. But yeah, nice bit of work there. It'll definitely stand out nicely. I think I'll mostly leave that gold because there's other pieces that will be a lot more visible. I have to touch up a bit of the rich drippy armor as well, yeah. And oh, how could I forget the faceplate? That's usually a very important piece to hit right off the bat. It's how you can tell there's differentiations here. Push that into the corners of the eyes. It'll sink in differently, and that will make it look better. Now I am overpainting this part right here, hitting a little more than I actually intend. But that should work out to my favor, because I don't actually need this to be unpainted. Just enough. Because I'm going to be adding a second alternate shade of bronze over top of it. I have to touch that up because I hit more than I meant. All right. So let's see. Touching up more of the buckles. The backs of them over here. It's just a tiny little bit of paint on a tiny little scratch of the character. But it's one of those things where I think it really stands out because it hammers home that they're very individualized. I'm not even going to hit all of them because I can't see some of them. But it'll be enough. Oh, and these little dots over here, I enjoy putting color on them. Make them look like the red-green announcement parts. Basically just slogging it into the little hole here. You can just kind of see it under the thruster. That's what it is, thruster. Very light amount of paint in a very hard to reach area. Hey, Ignis, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, the new job. Oh, yeah, the new job. Next Sunday I'm starting it, and yeah, I think the term is freaking out. This is fun, though. Thank you very much. Well, at least I hope the job is fun. I don't actually know. I haven't done it yet. Which also means since the job is starting soon, but it isn't yet, I will be doing a lot of streaming and recording this upcoming week to try and make up for the fact that I'm not sure how much I'll be able to do in the future. Would like to do the same amount, but, well, yeah, we'll find out. Ooh. Oh, hey, Tudor's gone. Okay, now that while he's gone, let's all sneak out and have no one here when I get back. If I can just time it, I would like duck down. It's like BRB right on the screen. But that would be a dick move, and I'm never a dick. Mom, if you're watching, stop. I know you're laughing. It's funny because my mom doesn't watch my stuff. I swear way too much and she can't stand it because she has the urge to call me and start yelling at me. It's actually funny. So it's like I just pretend, oh, well, actually, yeah, I have a missed call. She probably saw my stream and saw me swearing. Thanks, Sickness. All right. Now, normally I would touch these up in silver or red because I just like those colors on them. But right now, let's see. I don't want to do any touch-up work yet. I want to get the first layers in. I think I might actually move on. Let the silver dry a bit. Jetstream, I have no idea what you're talking about. I did nothing incriminating yet. I am tempted to keep the white plumage, but I just enjoy the reds more. It's more of a personal thing. Now, if I have someone like maybe a Leo Lars Custodian, if I ever get around to them, I might leave them white as a way to differentiate a higher rank, but that would just be more my own personal, it looks cool type sympathy. Make sure to shake this up. Hey, it's not even falling on me right away. I like it when it doesn't make me regret everything. Oh, and to everyone who left a like on the video, thanks. And Ignis is threatening to call my mother. Oh, God. She would get a kick out of it, and minus the entire swearing part. That part, she would give me a kick for it. I think, though, the big key about this will be not adding too many layers, because I want it to still be reflective of the white undertone. Key is always figuring that out. How much is too much? How little is too little, and where the hell is the line? Do I know? No. But it's one of those things where if worst comes to worst, I can always repaint it. Just rather not do that. Almost done with the plumage. Okay. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this will remain brighter, but like right now, it is quite bright by comparison, for an example. But this is also because I haven't washed it yet, and the wash always makes it a lot more. Mobius Zero, they actually have the booster back there, but no one paints them, which is weird because they have such good little detail cutouts around it that look perfect for the addition of color. But I guess that's just not what people like to do sometimes. It can't be helped. Let's see. I feel like I should add more red. So I'll do it here. Now that is a very badly painted cross. I'm really hoping that when I get to the wash phase, it cleans it up a bit, which it usually does, actually. Surprisingly well. That's actually the surprising part for me. Still not a small enough tip, but I'll take what I can get. Again, not perfect, but it'll look better, hopefully. Honestly, after I have seen the half-naked model of the Custodians, they're custom-made ones, and they actually look really cool. Someone did an amazing job 3D printing them. But they are even more expensive than the regular ones, and I cannot afford that. Would love to, though. Now, theoretically, I could call this guy here, but it wouldn't feel right. There's a few things I need to touch up, definitely. And... I don't know, I just felt it important to add red to the Miscordia. Not good. I'll have to repaint a few sections, but even a little bit of extra paint gives it a little more character as far as I'm concerned. I'll probably add black to that next, just to give it a little more on top. There's really nothing I actually need to add the red to. I'm tempted to make that red, but I think I'd rather keep the solid gold motif on that. Let's see. I will add more of the detail here in red. Adding a little detail work to the helmet. And overpainted the helmet. I could make that all red, though. Nah, it would interrupt too much with that. Just a little bit of red should make it stand out. As you can tell, I screwed up the helmet. But, meh. Vegeta is a condiment tutor? Huh, I wonder if that's actually what his name is. I thought Vegeta was a reference on vegetables, but he might have, yeah. The guy who did it, who I cannot remember the name of for some reason, was taking a lot of vegetable names, so he might have actually been naming it after your condiment. I mean, it's a thing. I think I'll leave that silver just for the variation. Not perfect, but so far I like where this guy's going. Now we get to start on the fun stuff, though. First, I want to switch over to the rich distributor armor. It's another variant of gold, but this one's more of a bronze gold. Actually, no, wait. Balthazar gold. That's the one. Redistributor is the base color for the primer. This one is a slightly off one. Ooh, really? Vegeta goes well with pork and chicken soup. Ooh, pork soup with a ooh, Tudor. That sounds really good. I am getting hungry, apparently. Ooh, I have to check that out later. Don't think we have it over in the States, though. Let's see. Yeah, this is a much darker, deeper color. I have no idea if this is a good idea. But, well, it's me, so I do a lot of stupid shit anyways. All right. And let's see just how bad I screwed this up. I am painting the head flange. And it's too watery. Try that again. Oh, I know what happened. This settled too much. I gotta actually stir it up a bit. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess right now, but I think the paint had actually started to settle, so I need to shake it more than usual. Okay. It was more of the brown aspects. That's better. I can feel it moving by the end there. But also leaking a bit. Ah. Well, that's annoying. And I just put it in my hair, I realized. Ah. Well, crap. I'm gonna have to shower after this. Still, the guy's coming along pretty well. Let's try that again. Oh, Chris, really? I want to celebrate. I did exactly what I do normally. You completely ignore it. That's better. It's a little more... The darker aspects are still there, but now there's more of a shine. It might just be my imagination for all I know, but I do think so. Okay, almost got the little head flange done. I wonder why I keep calling it a flange. Huh. I just realized I was doing that. Gotta get this little nick up here. It's not an important one, it's just one of those little details where if I don't get it, it will look off to me. Okay. Just gotta get that nose. There's a tiny little lip between the raised section on the front of the mask and the rest of the plate. And if it doesn't get hit just right, I can overpaint and it would be a much harder job to get. But I think I managed to get it. And again, this is not a huge thing, but you could definitely tell looking straight on there's a bit of a discoloration there. It's still a form of gold, but it's a darker gold, so it, I think, will stand out better on direct inspection. I wonder if I should apply it anywhere else. Maybe... actually, I'll try that. I could try getting the eagle quill on his back. Yeah, sure. Let's see how it works. I'm not doing a hard layer of it here, just a small covering. wonder how this will look when it dries. Because I don't usually use the darker colors on top of it. Well, hopefully it doesn't lose all the shine. That would be the biggest regret. The one upside to this is I hadn't noticed it before now, but I definitely needed to repaint this corner here because some of the helmet different colorations like the white and the red was still present there. That would have been bad. All right, so we got a bit of the neck card at a different color, and we got the helmet flange. I'm just going to keep going with flange. I can't got anything better at the moment. And just to get it a little off, I'm just going to lightly brush it on the handle? Handle, let's go with handle. Yeah, I'm not even putting a hard coat. It's more dry brushing at this point. Just putting it on there. Enough to be visible, but not enough to actually overwhelm or suppress the colors under it. The only hard part is making sure it's uniform. The one upside, though, is that this is a place where the nooks and crannies it has will absorb so much that it might actually make it easier to hide imperfections. All right, add a little color around there. It's still mostly gold, but there's a lighter layer on top of it that's Balthazar instead of ridge distributor. So I think that looks good. Do the same to the handle here. Just get a nice layer in there. And this is why my brushes get destroyed, doing things like this. But I can live with that because, well, they're replaceable. It's only a light bit. Again, it's practically dry brushing at this point. All right, now before I move on to what I was... it's leaking in the back. Yeah. Better just wipe that off now. Sometimes they don't seal all the way, so a bit of the paint leaks over and my hands get stained. It happens a lot. It's very frustrating. But, well, what are you going to do about it? Well, I guess not get stained hands would help, but we're going to ignore that fact. All right. Now let's see. Move this guy in the light so you get a better view. Yeah. Here we go. I think it looks pretty good so far. He's not quite done, and he's a little brighter than I normally prefer. But I think he looks good. Next up, we'll hit the Bugman's Glow. Touch up just a bit more of the... Where's the Rackar? There it is, the Rackar Flesh. Finish off a touch up of this. And then I am going to do something that I think will look really cool. Or terrible. It could go either way on this. Probably terrible. Well, if it does, I can repaint it. So there's really no sense of loss in that. All right. too much ink. Not enough water, or vice versa. Ah, there we go. That's a nice consistency. Let's see. A little too much paint on it still, but not a bad issue. The hard part is getting into the crevice. Now again, this is a slapdash job on this part right here, but I think most of it will be handled more adequately by the wash. Hard part though is right between the legs. Ooh, Verum, thank you very much for subscribing. I just noticed that because I looked up at the right time. Yeah. You can't really see it, but I definitely nicked the sides around the leggings. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for dropping in. Oh, now you're gone for no reason. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of touch-ups needed. But it's not the worst thing to happen. All right. Good enough on the Bugman's Glow. Good old crotch covering. They just have strips of leather there. I guess they're fans of leather. Yeah. Yeah. Tudor, I see that quote. Every day I just say something stupid, don't I? Oh, yeah, of course I do. It's me. But we're getting really close to the end, too. Bugman's Glow is done. I don't need much of that, but it's one of those paints that really holds up well in the water. It doesn't go badly. The white scar just dried so fast. Oh, if anyone's wondering, I'm currently sticking to this with tacky putty. Seriously, the stuff is amazing. I've even used it to help hold places where I'm using super glue instead of plastic glue. It just works so well. Ooh, fried noodles. Oh god, Mobius Zero. That sounds... I should not listen about food comments when I'm hungry. Ah. Alright. I'm just going to touch up the Ratgarth flesh a bit here. Then we'll move on to the touch-up of the red distributor armor. I am going to switch over to my slightly more fucked up blade. No, blade. Ah. Already case in my head. The instrument of my demise. That's probably accurate. God, warrior. By the way, for everyone who hit the share button, thanks. Just making sure. Yeah, this brush is going to be in significant need of replacement soon. Here, see if I'll zoom in on this. Yeah, it's fraying pretty badly. But it's getting there, so I'll take what I can get. As long as it holds a small enough point, it's more the amount than anything else. Actually, Tudor, I did write a book about all the stupid shit I say. I just haven't bothered trying to get it published yet because it requires more editing. Yeah, that's how I got my master's. Had to write a book. So there is literally a book filled with my stupid shit. That is literally a thing that exists. You're welcome. Okay. Here we go. All right. That's better. Yeah, I think it's working out pretty well. Just a little bit of gold showing through there. Just touching that up. And by the helmet, it splashed across. All right, not bad. Yeah, because Matt Ward did all the lore about Ultramarines and why they're the best in the ever. Yes, I know what I said. Oh, Tutor, I didn't publish the book. It's literally just sitting on my shelf, like right next to the office. Just, you know, sitting there with all the different edits I need to make. Just haven't done it. Haven't got around to publishing it. Just, I need about maybe a month of solid editing and it should be done, but I just haven't got around to it for the last 4 years. Yeah. More like 3 years. I'll do it one of these days. Maybe when I have vacation time. That'd be fun. It's funny because I won't have vacation time, I mean. Okay. That's done. That, I think, is done, so I don't need that. That should be done. So you need a touch-up redistributor and Sotek Green. Oddly enough, this one, I'm not going to touch with the small brush. I, as this might sound, want a slightly longer brush so I can get more of a tip out of it. I guess you could say a tip off. I should feel bad about that. It's always a pain to open this thing. Very thin paint. But I do enjoy using it. It clings incredibly well to the brush. I can do so much with so little with it. Not to mention the red aspects are just useful. All right. Cleaned up the little cross a bit. Still not perfect, but I think it's good enough for the moment. Now just touching up the extra gray space around it. Clean enough. All right. See, now that actually looks good. That square is a lot more detailed now, and it generally seems to be keeping the general look. That's why I love touching up these pieces. It just makes it look cleaner, nicer, and generally this is a good paint. Doesn't always cover up my mistakes, but more often than not, I can rely on it to not screw me over. Because it is a thicker paint. As long as I don't water it down too much by accident. That I would have said that. That's a thing. Let's see. Around there. Just making sure that I didn't overpaint too much in certain locations. And this chest, like the stomach plate, definitely overpainted there more than I realized, but it's such an easy fix. It's barely even worth mentioning. The harder one is definitely this piece right here, because it's overwhelmed on multiple sides. But even then, it just gets covered. Doesn't have to be a good one in these locations either. Just a little bit of color would be perfect. Because it's so dark, whenever I finally add the rest, it'll just cover it up. All right, not bad. Tutor, I have no idea what you're talking about. There is no mysterious escapades. You saw nothing. Ignore the report. I mean, wait, what was that? I said, what? I plead the third. Now this piece right here is actually a little more difficult because I wanted it to go over too much, but I don't want it too little. It's more of an annoyance to get than anything else, but not too bad. Generally though, this has been a pretty nice paint job. I haven't overpainted too much, so I actually have less to touch up than I'm used to. Normally I just slop it on a lot harder. So this stage takes a lot more. Granted, when I get to the back section, it'll probably be more detailed oriented. I did overpaint there, so I'll have to retouch it up again. But that's not entirely a bad side. I'll need the Balthazar back out. Let's see, where's that one? Yep, there's the Balthazar. And just a bit of the regular red to retouch that. And that's what usually takes so long with this for me. Hey, Wallace, up, man? Thanks for dropping in. And Ben, yo. Body oil? Ben, you're assuming they're not already covered in body oil. And they're not actually wearing armor. It's just a giant mitten to keep it on there, soaking into their skin longer. Oh, God. You're right, Mobius. We have no idea. I have no idea what we're talking about that we don't talk about because we don't talk about. And there is nothing. Was that about a Fight Club? We don't have a Fight Club. Also, remember how I mentioned maybe an hour ago now? This one little cross. And yeah, it's just I think it's a Celtic cross. That's what it's called. I could be mistaken. Right now I'm going to flatten out my, there we go. A nice flat line on it. I'm going to take it onto here. Now, it's not perfect. I overpainted a little, but generally, yeah. Let's see if I can get a little closer. We got a nice little Celtic cross there. I don't mind. I think it looks good. And any overpainting issues will be fixed in a second. Because when I wash it, it'll soak in there really well. All right, let's see. Now let's move on to the back side. The Gluteus Maximus. This one I overpainted a ton on because I was slopping it on thick. Just really laying it in there. But, yeah, it's actually not that bad. I'm kind of surprised. I thought it would be thicker. Am I secretly becoming talented at this? Oh my. Also, before I forget, if anyone wants to see one of their models painted on stream, right below me, I actually have my email address. Hit me up. And I'm not just saying that now because if someone takes me up on it, well, I would just have to definitely do the stream to paint their models before I did Corpse Party. Please. Help. Yeah, honestly, Pretty Guardian's coming over tomorrow. As soon as she gets here, we'll start streaming it, and I will scream like a girl. Specifically, a girl who's a coward, named Airier. So, basically me. Yeah. Right. Almost got the butt done. Just gotta pay extra attention to it, otherwise it doesn't quite feel right. Just gotta make sure nice coat so it looks shiny. There's nothing worse than a non-shiny ass on these. I realize what I'm saying. Oh, so Ben, they're not... Okay, Celtic crosses are the ones that have an open circle over the intersection. And they have a gable roof on the peak. Okay, yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting what this one is. It's a small... It's not... It's closer to the Celtic, but it's not a Celtic. I'm off. I know it's not accurate. Plus, there's more of a winding technique with the Celtic cross. I'm Irish. I should know this. Jacob, I have no idea what you're talking about. Hi, I'm not trying to get out of anything easily. You saw nothing. And if I'm lucky, no one will. But I'm not lucky. All right. Just going to come up here. Uh-huh. Think it's good. Honestly, I thought I made more of a mess with the legs, but it's oh, there it is. Found it. Found the mess. Hot mess even. Wyatt, I'm not so much of a nerd. I'm a super nerd. To be fair, I think it's actually more of a geek. A nerd knows more, and I'm just more of a enthusiast. It's like nerd adjacent. Oh, that's a nice little piece I never noticed before. Just taking a little bit over here. I had a little too much on the underside of the armor, more than I wanted. So I'm going to hit that up. Small touch of red right on the base of the helmet. It's not a big deal. Honestly, I barely even noticed it. I noticed it by accident, if anything. All right, I think this guy's almost done. Not entirely done. There's a few things I definitely need. So, Afra, what are those numbers for? Oh, that is mean. That is mean, good sir. Oh, wow. Why would you subject someone to that? My Discord has enlightened me about what they meant before. Yeah, there's a link to the Discord down below. It's verifiably insane. I mean, it's people who make me look sane by comparison sometimes. Yeah, Afro, I'm not saying what they mean. I would like to keep my channel, and talking about that on stream would be a great way to lose it. YouTube. It's off-brand, though. Okay, I just want to do a little bit of the touch-up on the belcher. Just a tiny bit on the front. Not even a lot, really. Barely a real amount. It's more of an imaginary amount of paint. Paint is a lie. Although they did actually create a JoJo alternate ending for that one, just so you know. It is out there. If you find the alternate ending to it, it does exist. And it just involves a JoJo character who can heal, making the ending much less fucked up. And as far as I'm concerned, it's canon. Okay, it doesn't look as good on the front when I did it, but I touched up the little cross. It's not as good, but again, I think a lot of the issues will be fixed when I just bring in the wash. That should cover most of the issues up. And again, hey, if it works. I am debating getting the siding done quickly. Let's see about that. See you later, Tutor. Thanks for dropping by, man. Sleep for the Goblin Throne. That's funny. I will touch this up in silver quickly. Just because it would look so dry and bland without it. I mean, dry and bland, not planned. Me planning something. That's silly. No one would have ever believed that. Now what I'm doing right now is the little folds on the loincloth strips. There's studs in it, and God knows I just realized how that sounds. But I like to paint them so they have a little bit of a metallic tone to it. Because on its own, without any extra form of coloration, they look a little weird just sitting there. As you can notice, I put little dots of silver on it. One's a little thicker than I meant, but overall it'll work. It's just my personal opinion that it melds well with the final look. And if I'm wrong, well, I can always repaint it. All right. That looks better. Now we get to try the thing I'm not sure of. I'm going to try doing something a little more colorful than I've ever done on a Custodies. Other than the, well, that. Hopefully it still stays bright when I'm done. But if not, I can always maybe touch it up a bit. God, my head is itching. Oh yeah, dog was everywhere. Don't you like it when you just find things you're randomly allergic to in your clothes? There's a dog, he licked everything. Everything. Oh, the DC animated bridge? Hashtag Team Superman or the @Team Superman. Wyatt, I haven't got to @Team Superman. I'm not entirely sure what that is, and I'm a little scared. We're still on the Doom Bridge right now. I think I just caught up to that. I'm not actually sure what comes after that. I think it might be Suicide Squad 2. I have no idea what you're talking about, Tutor, and I'm going to make sure not to think about it too hard to think otherwise, because that way leads chaos. All right. Now to imply the one color I am not sure about. Hate opening this thing. And it's doing the thing where it doesn't stay open. There's a lip on the inside to help the paint drain into it instead of around it. All right, again, flat brush, very useful. Let's see about just adding in the rest of the color. not perfectly spherical, but take what I can get. Gonna leave that to dry for now, just a little dot on the chest. There's this little dot on the side piece here. I overpainted. Got a little nick, and I'm going to have to do something about that. So, Jacob, I am spared from your curse because I'm playing Corpse Party. I'm not sure that makes up for it. Blue is the national color of Ireland? Really, Ben? Huh. I honestly would have sworn it'd be more something along the lines of green, because, you know, Emerald Isles. But, what do I know? Apparently not that. Just a touch of green on it, or the green-blue. I think it looks nice. Not a lot of dots to hit on this one. The arms are mostly covered, so I don't need to worry about that. The legs are fine. It's not a big area to hit. I have to touch that up in a second. Maybe a little more fresh. I think it was getting a little too dry to use. All right. Almost done. Oh, and I almost forgot the first one. Oh, jeez, that would have been embarrassing. A little too wet. And we are in the home stretch. I think as soon as I do this, I'll do one more round of touch-ups. And we should be good to hit the wash. All things considered, this is surprisingly fast progress. I would have really sworn it would have taken longer. Not complaining. I mean, I like getting done fast, but... Huh. Oop, just gotta hit the back of this thing. Not a good angle, but I can do it. Again, terrible angle there, but it worked. Now for the part that I thought might be a little more interesting. I'm going to expand just how much of this... Like, this is the color I like to use to detonate... I do mean detonate the power weapons I have to denote when they're being used. So I think it would be a little interesting to go in and add that same coloration to the spines on the chest of the Vexilla. Almost as if he's running with the power of a power weapon itself. These are well-raised areas, so as long as I take my time, I always make sure to hit them instead of the surrounding gold area, so I might even need to touch this section up. All right. See if we can get a nice little image on that. Not bad, not bad. See if it'll zoom in. Ben, actually, when it comes to scuffing, I don't like doing it to these models just because I want them to be dirty but not scuffed up. But I wouldn't actually scuff them. What I would do is actually a trick I saw on Mini Wargaming. I have the liquid green stuff here. It's absolutely terrible to fill in cracks. I can't stand it. But if I then painted over a very thin watered down layer on top, or actually not watered down, like just take it and scrub it on somewhere and then just work it in with the brush tip, a brush I'm okay with destroying, it actually adds a weathered effect and it looks really cool. I just don't want it on this guy. Yeah, just liquid green stuff is great for a weathered effect to make it look dirty and worn. It just really works well. Just most of the guys I have, the Nurgle guys, I have a thing where I like them to look more rusty rather than worn. And I like really pristine armor containing really disgusting things. It's more of a personal quirk for me than actually necessity or anything. All right. I'm going to do one more pass over on this. Too much ink. Put a little too much in. Not a problem because, again, the wash will fix a lot of that. All right, not perfect. I had a little few more mix-ups, that's the word there, but it's still not bad. And I think it's still in a place where the wash will cover up anything I really made an issue with. Oh, one last dot I need to get. Silly of me to forget this one. Actually, while I'm at it, I should probably put one more line on him just to make sure as well. Ben, I know the Custodians aren't meant to be invincible, but I like the idea of them looking as if they are. Although, with the way I put the wash on, they look very much battle-worn. But that's just... I like the wash toning them down, making them look dirtier. Without having a lot of the dirt. It's more like the weathered armor as opposed to the dirty armor. It's more of a custom choice. Alright, let's just add the last of the Balthazar Gold. A quick little hit. Tiny one. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to touch up here. Head's almost finished. Yeah, last second change. A little more Balthazar Gold on the helmet. Doesn't really change much in the overall profile, but I like the aspect of it, just being a little more of a helmet feature as opposed to just the crest. Oh, dang it. And I made a mistake. I lost control of my brush for a second and didn't pay attention and ended up painting a section of the plumage. Yeah, that's embarrassing. I'll fix it in a second, though. So I need a little more redistributor, a little more red. Well, I was going to touch up the red anyways, but... Oh, no, actually, Dis, there's a larger FGO channel. Just look up Shotgun Shogun. He's not the largest FGO channel, but I think right now he's more Epic 7. But seriously, he's awesome. Check him out. Oh, and Call Gru is much smaller, but they're awesome as well. Definitely hit them up. There's a lot of really good FGO channels. Don't get me wrong, I love being one, but yeah. Definitely check out Shotgun. I think him or Sloan might be the largest FGO channels. Although I'm not sure if Sloan is still considering herself one. She might have moved on to other things. Definitely Shotgun, though. He just did streams covering the localization. Yeah, there wasn't much going on. But glad he did it. But yeah, for what I do in my streams, in my channel, it's mostly a matter of what I feel like doing today. It makes it very hit and miss if people like it, but I'm having fun. Is that a good way to justify what I'm doing? No. But I'm still having fun, so I don't care. Alright, got enough red. I can finish up the top, and we should be set. Just need a little more, and I should be done. Okay. I think it's just a few more sides that got a little overpainted. Just touched up the cross on the back of the misericordia again. I didn't need to, but yeah. Ben, no, actually, I never painted models at all before I did 40K models. It was literally the first time ever for me, and it surprisingly worked out. Yeah, that is more of a complete luck bit there. Oh, really? It is Ignis? Oh, cool. And yeah, the plumage, it's hard not to screw it up. Cleaning up is easy, not just straight red, but not screwing up in the first part, that is always, that's a pain. I'm tempted to go over that again, trying to add a little more red, but it's good enough. What I will do, though, this is just an effect I like. I just like dipping the ends of the cloth in red. Just a little bit. It'll be washed out in the actual, well, the wash. It's just, I find it a fun effect. Crap, I hit up the armor with the red again. Well, the redistributor's already out here. Silly me. Oh, actually, I haven't Regix. I'm not going to do that just yet. I think I'm going to do that maybe on Friday. Either that or Thursday. Sometime this week, I'm actually going to do the drawing for that. Just because that seems to be the most effective, and I want to put, a good bit of time in it. In fact, I might even do it tomorrow when I start doing Corpse Party because get it out of the way. Nah, having it on its own video would probably work out better. The legs seem underdeveloped. It might just be this model because it's in a weaker, more walking stance, where a few of the other ones, because they're more spread apart, you can tell they're actually quite huge. Also, the shoulder pads look huge. Like, they're justifiably large. If you take them off, it actually looks more in tune with what a size would normally be. They are oversized. Massive shoulder pads. And the thing is, when you build the model, you actually have to add them on. So the arm itself, you see how big it is, and it's actually not as large by comparison. All right, though, I think this is what it's going to look like. I mostly left the staff alone minus a few things, but I think we're looking at how this guy's going to end out. Unless there's anything else I need to add. Oh, I want to add a little black to the misericordia. And touch on the redistributor. I'll do that first. And I should be a bit close to it. I almost forgot this part. I'm actually a little embarrassed. That's too wet. It's too much ink. Nice flat. Nice. Yeah, I realize I'm going to have to repaint this silver again. On the other hand, easy fix. Looks better, but still needs a little work. Red Belcher it is. And if you ever wonder why I think it's the touch-ups that always take the longest, because I keep going over things a little too much. sure to shake it up so it doesn't get too dry on me. I'll let that dry for a bit. I'll hit the redistributor first. All right. All right. Got the ink. Got it on the... Seriously, it was such a small little piece to touch up. Surprisingly little I need to touch up here. I could probably just a little bit of a touch-up work. Just a tip in there. Nah, it would be too much of a risk. Okay. Almost done. I think as soon as I touch up that voucher on the misericordia, this should be done. The overlap of plates on the boots? Oh, I see what you mean. I didn't mind that just because I'm used to all the chaos pieces right now where the boots are spiky and there's like things growing out of them. So these still look really cut down and simplistic to me. So I don't really think they look overdeveloped. Then again, I'm used to enjoying really huge developments, so I guess it looks different. But still, we're about to hit the end phase and just touch up the last of the silver, wash this guy, and we are done. I'll go back in my own time and add the ard coat. I prefer doing that after it's been dried for a while. Otherwise, I feel it might mix badly, and that's not ideal for the glazing effect that it offers. Too much ink. I've lost too many details. I can't quite see what I'm painting. Gonna have to leave a lot of that for the wash to fix. Not proud of that, but I'll take what I can get. Oh, almost forgot. One last thing I enjoy painting. There's this nodge, like a bit of wire work that connects the boot and the leg. I just enjoy making that silver. Does it need to be silver? No, but, you know, I just enjoy it. All right, almost done. Oh, almost forgot this side. Okay. I think that is done. Just give it a few seconds to dry. Close this up. And let's see. There's a little left in this one. I really enjoy it, but my problem is I keep knocking it over. So we'll probably break into the next one pretty fast. I replace it right away. Again, I just keep knocking it over. I should work on that. My own personal issue, though. Still, though, I'm looking forward to seeing how this changes. The Reichland Flesh, it doesn't look like it really tones down the model at first, but then all of my models start with that look, and then they end at a much darker sheen. What'll be cool to see is how that affects the already darker faceplate, because I put on the Balthazar instead of Redistributor on the faceplate right there. That will be a big change, and I'm really kind of curious to see how it'll affect the overall finish. Will it be a big one? Will it not? I don't know, but I really want to see it. I'm curious to see the final effects. The foot could be a little cleaner, like right around the cleanup work here, but I'll ignore most of it for now. It's not worth really hassling itself over. Astartes, a 40K animated project. Ben, I haven't, but I will definitely check that out. I think next, though, I'm going to try and check out, after finishing TTS, what's it called? Oh, Hell's Reach. I've heard someone did that, and it was amazing, and I kind of want to check that out. There we go. This is off. Make sure the bristles are still good. Again, I have this habit of trying to actually wet the bristles down so they contain the point before I use it. All right. Still enough to use. Let's get into it. As you can see, I am literally just slopping the wash on. And that is very much intentional on my part. I like the weathered effect that it will grant the model. It just does a really good job at making it older, making it weathered, making it worn. Making it look like there's soot ground into the very metal. And that it won't come out no matter how much you wash it. I like that effect. I like making it look like these guys have been through hell and back and have seen it all. I like how that looks. Different colors have different effects. This one, though, I think gives it a really... It's a redder effect. Where the Nuln Oil, which is the other one I use a lot, that one, it's more... How to put it? How to describe it? Nuln looks like it's covered in soot, where this one looks like it's covered in rust and brown or red earth ash. But like mud even, and just, it has a different effect. I think I prefer this one because the Nuln Oil, while it's a really cool one, it mutes the colors in black. It just makes things darker, where this one, I think this adds more of a reddish tint, which still highlights the colors that you wanted intended. That might just be me, though. Also, hey, Jetstream, thanks for dropping back in, man. Unless you were here this entire time, hiding. Yeah. Now, here's the important part. Seeing how the wings take it. I can always put more on and take it off as I go. It's only when it starts to dry that it becomes an issue. Getting the back of the nail. Getting the back of the foot. One of the previous ones I did a lot more work on the shield itself. This time I think I'll let the shield more or less stand for itself. Just want to make sure to add the right shadows here. It would really not work if I got into this face and then it just didn't have the right technique added to it. It would be so embarrassing. Now, you might have noticed I've been over a few of these spots a few times. That's mostly because I forget where I'm at, but also because I like how it'll look when it's more covered evenly. I don't usually like going back and highlighting things, so this is actually a very effective way to do it as far as I'm concerned. The different pieces of the armor itself will cover up most of the flaws just because they're darker, harder to see. But then if I go against the grain, it'll make it easier for it to collect in the areas that are just harder to see. But I want to handle all the shadows though. Not just a matter of some of them. It has to be everything. Otherwise it doesn't really make sense. And if the different quality is too high in one area, definitely have to go back in and change that up a bit. Especially if it's something two-sided like the cloth or the strings. I know some people go in and they'll actually do writing on it. No, that's way too detail oriented. I would love to do it, but I think just having the streamers is more than enough. Mm-hmm. Now the important one, getting the helmet right. Now, I didn't do anything specific for the eyes, mostly because I think here, the best thing I could do would be to really go to town and let the wash sink in, because it will completely dye the eye a deep color that will just stay that way. And it just becomes super hard to see into it. Like the details become more and more of an abstraction, just holes. And when I add a coat of ard or ard coat after that, it just becomes much more interesting in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion. Can't forget the chest though. I might need to re-go over this again with something brighter, but I think it should work out the best. And as you can see, I'm putting a little extra water, a little bit extra of the wash on there. That should help out. Just seep in there, cover up the areas that are hard to get to. If I'm right, this should work. And if I'm wrong, well, it just still looks cool. Almost done. Since this is visible, I want to definitely highlight the back of this thing. Put put a little too much on, but not enough that I'm concerned. I want to make it darker. Okay. Just get all the extra off. Put it on the side. Make sure to highlight all the little details. And just pull that once more up the side. All right. I think this guy is about done. Just tip him back so you can get the light on him. He is a lot more just dark. But that's actually a good bit of the lighting on him. Here we go. Yeah, for some reason the coloration alters. Not sure why it does that. There we go. That looks more accurate. Still pretty dark, still pretty hard to see, but I think it's starting to finally look like I wanted it to. When this guy dries, he will be a lot cooler. He'll also be a lot darker, and the coloration, like the actual gold bits, will just deepen as it dries. So what you see right now will not be what it looks like at the end. But I think I did a good job. I think everything worked out, and it should dry in the correct way. So yeah, I'll put up a picture on the channel whenever it's done on the community tab, and or I'm doing a seal motion there apparently. Or check out the Discord down below. I'll be throwing up a ton of pictures as it dries there as well. So yeah, all the same, everyone. Thanks for sticking around, and I'm having fun. I just enjoy these painting streams. They're long, they're slow, but they're almost meditative, and seeing it come together from beginning to end is always something I really enjoy doing. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the next one. Adios. And tomorrow's corpse party. Yay. Later, everyone.